You were born with a piece of technology in your head, about which almost nothing was ever told to you. This is not science fiction. This is biology. The pineal gland. They call it the third eye. A small organ, the size of a pea, hidden deep inside the brain. Textbooks say it regulates melatonin, the sleep hormone. But the ancients spoke of something else. To them, it was a portal to the hidden. It is this gland that activates under certain vibrations in meditation, under the influence of light, especially the light of the rising sun. But you were told, don't look at the sun, you might go blind. You were taught that it's dangerous, that the light will burn you. But have you ever asked yourself, why do children in villages instinctively reach toward the sky at dawn? Why did the oldest practices of all cultures begin with worship of light? There are real facts. Studies show that the pineal gland contains crystals similar to those found in radio receivers. It is literally a biological sensor, not just part of the brain, but a receiver, and possibly a transmitter. Science confirms that this gland may be sensitive to light, even if it does not enter directly through the eyes. It responds to vibrations, to photons, to the energetic spectrum. The question is, why in modern culture were you taught to stop interacting with that light? When you look at the sun, especially at dawn or dusk, not just light enters your eyes, it is information, a wave that may travel through your body and activate hidden realms of consciousness. It's no coincidence that nearly all ancient civilizations began their day with a ritual involving light. Egyptians, Aztecs, Hindus, Tibetans, all of them. It was no accident. There is an ancient technique known as solarization, or sun gazing, the practice of gazing at the sun during the first and last minutes of the day. Those who practiced it properly claimed that over time, they began to see more than the physical world. Expanded perception, disappearance of fear of death, inner peace, and even exiting the body. That's what those who reached the highest levels of the practice described. But if you try to search for this information today, you'll run into warnings, cautions, medical prohibitions. You'll be told, dangerous, harmful, unscientific. Yet scientific studies themselves confirm that at certain hours, when ultraviolet is minimal, light may beneficially influence the endocrine system, including the pineal gland. So where is the truth? Why in a world where every second person suffers from anxiety, depression, scatter of mind, are we not even allowed to try restoring connection with the source? Why in the age of technology, when everyone carries artificial light in their hand, are you forbidden to turn to the natural? Maybe because an awakened person is inconvenient, because he who again feels and sees steps beyond the matrix. When we speak of access to other worlds, most imagine fairy tales or fiction. But when you look at what ancient civilizations used, it becomes clear they weren't inventing. They knew. And they had access. Tribes of the Amazon, Siberian shamans, Indian sages, and indigenous peoples of North America used plant conduits. These plants were not for intoxication, not for escaping reality, but rather for exiting it. They were tools, bridges, open doors between layers of perception. They did not provide illusion. They ruptured it. What happens in the moment of their action? Brain electrical activity leaves normal patterns. Templates break apart. Space and time begin to lose their clear boundaries. Then comes silence. Clarity, answers, sometimes painfully, sometimes liberatingly. The pineal gland or epiphysis. Scientists still can't fully explain what it is for, but the ancients knew. They called it the gateway of souls, the eye of darkness, the all-seeing eye, the door to other realities. What makes the pineal special? It produces melatonin responsible for sleep. But in special states, it may also produce DMT, dimethyltryptamine. That substance is called the spirit molecule. It activates during deep meditation, at the moment of birth, at death, and under certain light influence. Hear that? Light. The ancients practiced sun gazing, a ritual at sunrise or sunset. Stand barefoot on the earth and gaze at the sun for the first precious seconds. Through this, the pineal is activated. Through this, awakening occurred. Today you are told, you cannot look at the sun, you'll go blind. You can't be barefoot, you'll fall ill. Understand? You can't eat this or that. Harmful. But maybe it's not about protecting you from harm. Maybe it's the opposite. They block your access to awakening mechanisms. Fluoride, fluorine, added to drinking water and toothpaste, actively blocks the pineal. Why? Because fluoride crystallizes the gland, turning it into a sleeping rudiment. And now here you are, living in a body unaware that in your head you hold a portal to other worlds. You drink coffee, swallow advertising, work, and think everything is okay. But your navigator is off. You are disconnected. Now guess what happens when you begin to feel the sun not with your eyes but with your skin? When you sit in silence just 10 minutes. When you breathe consciously and align your mind. You activate your receiver. You awaken what has slept since birth. You remember you were never just human. You are the observer connected to the flow. In the Catholic Vatican, in the courtyard of the pine cone, Cortile della Pina, stands a bronze sculpture shaped like a pine cone about 4 meters high. This pine cone was cast by the Roman sculptor Publius Cincius Salvius and originally adorned a fountain near the Pantheon. In 1608 it was moved to the Vatican, where it became the centerpiece of a new architectural ensemble. The pine cone has long been associated with spiritual awakening, eternal life, and the third eye. Its form resembles the pineal gland in the human brain, which many cultures regarded as the center of intuition and connection to higher worlds. In Christian tradition, the pine cone symbolizes the immortality of the soul and spiritual illumination. Flanking the fountain are bronze peacocks, copies of statues that once decorated the mausoleum of Emperor Hadrian. In Christian symbolism, the peacock represents immortality and all-encompassing knowledge, strengthening the sacred meaning of the whole composition. In truth, everything has always been before us. Maybe nothing is hidden from us. We just refuse to notice, constantly swatting away. There are many distracting factors, worries, routines, daily grind, a chase you don't even know why. In ancient times, people didn't need telescopes to see stars, didn't seek God in books. They felt connection directly, through the body, through silence, through light. They had no televisions, but they knew how the universe works. Not because someone told them, because they remembered. Thousands of years ago, vision was normal. And here came a new world, one where knowledge is hidden behind the walls of science, where the sun became dangerous and the inner world dismissed as fantasy. You were given entertainment content, medicated calm, a rational model of a soulless world. And day by day you forgot who you are. You didn't lose access. You gave it away in exchange for safety and comfort. But it was always within you. Now, attention, how to restore access. First, silence. Your pineal loves silence, not external, but internal. Even 5 minutes without thought a day, that is a key. Second, darkness. Melatonin activates only in full darkness. Try to sleep without screens. You'll notice the difference in 3 days. Third, light. True. Morning, soft, natural light. Not through glass or under a lamp. Just stand, breathe, feel. Fourth, mindfulness. Your reality is a mirror of your attention. What you choose to notice becomes stronger. Filter your attention. You don't have to search for an exit. You are the gate. Just remember, you can open them. Without substances, without rituals, without gurus. Your nature already knows the way. Thank you for being here. I wish you goodness and awareness. See you in the next video. And remember, you are more than you were ever told.